If it's your first time on my channel, my name is AD. Also, make sure to check out my Linktree link down below in the description section as well. Prom is the Super Bowl for families with no vision. Interesting topic that's being discussed here. This guy from the Millionaire Mindsets that I came across on IG. I'm gonna let you all hear him talk about this in a little more detail, and then I'll give my thoughts as well.
This is why these proms are so crazy nowadays because the standard is just graduating high school and just getting by. A person with real goals will not justify spending $3,000 on prom, but won't spend $3,000 on an SAT prep.
My theory is this is just my belief. I ain't got no data statistics to back this up, but I strongly believe there is a correlation between the extravagant proms and poverty.
Oh, of course.
The more extravagant the prom is, the more that you could bank on. That's probably a family that's in poverty.
Yeah, of course.
I know somebody personally that sold his company for almost 300 million. He sent his daughter to prom in a basic dress and a black Tahoe truck.
Oh, of course. But I guarantee she got a college fund.
Absolutely.
I guarantee she got a tutor if she needed that tutor in science in order to get her SAT up, or she needed that tutor in writing in order to, get into Harvard or Michigan or one of these top elite schools. They're going to justify spending that money. That's not even a thought. Ooh, man. Yeah. This is why
Okay, man, he said a lot there. Let's start off with the graduating high school is and just getting by is the standard. I do think unintentionally that is the standard for a lot of households, and I say that if that's all I've ever done was just graduate high school and we don't have many wins, quote unquote, in life, I definitely can see how that end up happening, and everybody's standard isn't the same. I can take my grandmother for instance. My grandmother, my family members have told me, well, my aunts and uncles, I should say, including my mom. My grandmother, her key thing was, long as you don't go to jail and you don't steal. If you don't do those two things, she looking at you like you just won the Nobel Peace Prize. So standards do matter, and I think that plays a role too in how people celebrate when someone graduate high school. I mean, a good example for myself. I think it's an achievement. Obviously you got to graduate high school before you can go to the next level. Most people, I should say, go to the next level in life. But with that being said, I'm never going to be the type of person that I see myself buying my child a new car. And when I say a new car, a new Benz, a BMW, anything like that, just because they graduated high school. I'm not celebrating high school like that. Like I said, it's a nice achievement, but it's not anything that I'm just about to go, above and beyond, just crazy about. But again, my standard is a little different at this point in time in my life. So I totally get that one. The other thing I wanted to touch on also, when they had mentioned about people going all out spending money on prom, but not nothing for SAT prep, that's a bad thing that I notice also, where a lot of people don't prioritize the right things. And when I say a lot of people in particular in the black community, we, often, a lot of us often play victim and talk about, oppression and those different things. But when we get the opportunity to end up possibly have a chance to make a come up on doing different things, we don't take advantage of it. And like I said, I know a lot of this is you only know what you know as well. So trust me, I get that also. And kind of touching on Stan on that point when he touched on, some people would pay 3,000 on a prom but got no life insurance. It's the little things like life insurance. You can get that, especially in your 20s and early 30s. And if you got good health, haven't had any health issues, you can get that you can get like a $500,000 policy for like $20. Like that's and $20, that just you just take that one day, you just don't eat lunch that day. That's just how simple, or maybe 2 days, whatever it might take, just to get that $20. But that's a small sacrifice in the big thing. Like I said, we got to be prioritizing the right things in life. I think also, even with kids wearing Jordans, some parents they gonna try their best to make sure that kid looks nice all the time. I grew up that way. My mom gonna make sure I was clean as a whistle. So I get that part. But then at the same time, if we're gonna make sure the kid got the new Jordans all the time, we gotta it's important too that we need to make sure, hey, let me make sure if I'm buying all these Jordans all the time, let me make sure I got some stock in Nike as well. So we can pretty much be making money from that as well if we always gonna be giving them all of our money to look nice. That's why I said a lot of it, we just gotta be prioritizing the right things and it come with the right mindset also. And then getting back to the extravagant proms. I'm good with someone having a extravagant prom. If you can afford it, I always say you can do whatever you want. Because I know I love nice things. Trust me, so I'm never gonna be the type of person sitting here telling someone not to get nice things if they can afford it. But the key thing, if you can afford it, I don't want to hear about you having an extravagant prom and then all of a sudden, shortly after prom, you got to GoFundMe or you going around trying to raise money for to get little Johnny to basketball camp when end up you like I said went crazy spending all the money for prom. So those little things, like I said, it was a lot there. That's an interesting conversation. But if you like the video, subscribe before you leave the channel so you're alerted of new content that I put out as well.